Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 2 of Más Mes que un podcast. Yes, it's me, Buga. We got Pablo, and we got my boy John over there. We're still the same gang, but with a different name, and we just wanted to bring you the best Barcelona content. So we're going to be doing that here in this podcast. Remember to follow us on social media, give us 5-star like ratings or whatever you do on Spotify, because I know that really helps. And yeah, this is basically going to be a show that we do weekly, and we're just going to talk, have some fun, have some banter, and let's start. So, where you guys want to start with this episode?
I don't know. Nothing
Well,
really big happened. There was no big headlines whatsoever. So, like nothing. I don't know. Easy
yeah,
breezy. What do you
No,
we did.
guys want to talk about?
We didn't. We didn't have a game this weekend, did
I
we?
had a game today. I had a game
I
today.
I saw
Yeah, I
My
was going to
45
say
minutes. Yeah,
you had a story for us.
I saw 45 minutes of El Clasico, and then I took a nap, and I haven't looked at the news since. So I have no idea what happened. I'm feeling good about Gundogan's goal. Feeling great for him getting one on the books. Big match for him, and yeah.
Well, yeah. Before starting Barcelona, I wanted to share something with you guys, and it's that
Right.
um, today, like, there's this tournament that in my school, the year groups we play, and my year group this year we lost. Unfortunately, we lost.
Sorry, you're not still at school, are you?
Huh?
There's no way you're still at school, is there?
No, I mean, like, we play every year a tournament. So like
Okay.
we are 24 years age, so against 25, against 23 kids,
Yeah.
22, like, you know
It would
that.
be like the alumni. I don't know if they
Exactly.
say that
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
UK. Like
Yeah, maybe something
alumni
like that.
return every year with your age group coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And we play
Really?
a soccer game
Yeah.
because we're in the
That's that,
Americas.
that would be incredible.
So
It,
that's what
it's
we do,
yeah.
right?
It happens in the States too. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
Booga, but you guys
That's
lost.
what we have always been shit, but this year they've been including me a bit more. I've been taking pictures, stuff like that, and they know I know football, right? So they were like, so we hired this guy to coach, which is like a guy from somewhere, and they're like, he sucks, and they're like, "Buga, why don't you coach us next year?" And I'm like, sure, but we're gonna play 4-4-2 because you guys suck, and we just need to defend and try to kid on the counter. Because we literally have
Oh,
one of my friends in school. He's like, I don't know. He reminds me of actually Jao Felix. He just plays like play the ball to him. He'll do something, and then he'll pass to somebody else and score. You know, some shit like
Booga, how
that.
serious are folks taking this that they're hiring and firing managers?
They take it pretty seriously. Like, we play this game today. There was a kid who is like 22, and he plays in Girona, and he's like Peru. He's plays in the reserves of like Girona, you know, like Girona in Spain.
Mhm.
And they were like, we were losing like 3-0. I was taking pictures, and everybody was just like, let's just double, like, let's just go and slide tackle that kid. Let's ruin his career. I don't care. Let's just ruin his career. Let's just do it. Like, let's just do it. And they were like, oh, going to that poor kid. And you know what's the worst part? His father was in the stands, but he's like not even a player. He's like a Hiroki Abe, if you know, if you remember that guy, because he just moved because of like commercial reasons or some shit like that.
oh,
So fuck that guy.
so that's your story. You're the new coach of the Peruvian team.
I guess so.
Now, are you gonna be
Sorry,
more?
but
You gonna be more Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola or like I don't know what kind of manager style are you bringing to the table here, Booga?
I'm not. I don't have. I cannot be bothered with teaching tiki taka. I cannot be bothered.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, but what
it's way too
style?
hard, dude. It's like way too hard.
Are you quite animated on the touchlines, or do you just chew some gum and let them do it? Like you say, I've done my talking in the changing rooms, or are you in there like
No, no, no. I'm
dictating?
in there. I'm like in
You're
there.
dictating. Okay, you're a bit of a Simeone. Okay.
Yeah, no, but I wanna. I literally would play just four
Simeone,
four
yeah.
two. I would
Mm.
play 4-4-2 because like at this level of football, like there's like only I think of our team like maybe like 4 actually played football, like 5 maybe play football like, you know, underage level. So they only have they managed to grasp the things. The other ones were like my friends. The only football knowledge they have is like when we get to there to watch Champions League games or like play FIFA. That's their only knowledge. So we need to be pragmatic. You know, actually who I would follow. I would be sort of like Ernesto Valverde,
Okay.
pretty
It
much
sounds
like
like you
that.
need a training camp. It sounds like you need to prep these folks,
I
maybe.
know, but I need two assistant coaches. So
Oh no, I'm out. These guys sound like they're dog shit. I don't, no way.
I would love it.
What would you have us do as assistant managers? What would we be doing there?
I don't know. Just pass the Gatorade around.
Okay. I don't know if you can afford me, my man.
Okay, let's start talking about some actual football.
Go on then.
All right, we have to actually acknowledge the reality of the 2-1 defeat.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's what the people
yeah.
they'll be here for us to dissect it all.
Yeah. All right. So what
And
what are your immediate takeaways?
I think I'll try and do my little 90-second hit then, and then we can sort of branch off. I think the best team lost. I think we probably knew we were going to be maybe inferior with all the absences. It's not ideal to go into a massive game in any regard with that many key players missing. But I think as we've probably shown in numerous Clásicos now, I think we're just a better team than Real Madrid. I think we just play better football than them, full stop. Absences on our absences. I think Xavi's got Ancelotti's number tactically. But we didn't kill the game off, didn't finish chances. You saw when Inigo's hitting the post, Fermin hit the post. You can't do that against Real Madrid. There's no way you hold out a 1-0 win against Real Madrid. I don't think. Anyway, I don't know. It just doesn't happen really. I don't think. So they obviously killed us off with chances. Bellingham is just in one of those moments of form where anything he touches hits the back of the net. I think Real Madrid did a Real Madrid, really, didn't they? I think Araujo contained Vinicius, but there was Bellingham popping up with 2 goals. For Barca, it's not crisis for me, but it is a shame the result because I don't think we deserve to lose. There were some good individual performances. I think we played well overall. Weren't good enough second half, I think, in large periods, to be fair. But yeah, I'm disappointed because I think we could have won the game, and it sucks that we could have done it even with a weaker team. But against Real Madrid, if you don't kill your chances, you pay the price when they've got players like Bellingham who's striking everything at the moment, despite how poorly they play, in my opinion. I think they've been below par for a while, actually, but they got the job done. Yeah, disappointing, frustrating.
Yeah, Booga, you feel the same way? How disappointed or frustrated are you?
Look, this is the game that it has hit me in a while, like a long time. Like I've been really bummed about this result. I don't know why I was so invested in the game. Like I wasn't that hyped to watch the Clásico, but I was like, I don't have plans going on Saturday. Like this is my day is gonna revolve around just this moment. For me, the game was 9 a.m. in the morning. So for you, John, like 10, maybe something like that, right?
Yep.
So I was like, I woke up, I was made breakfast. I was just to watch the game, and I was so invested in it. And we played, like Pablo said, very good football. The first 45, like he said, I was like, we got the first goal, but we need a second. Like we just needed the second one, but it never came. And at the end of the day, like I just knew that Real Madrid were for me after the halftime whistle blew, there were 2 options: either the game finished 1-0 for Barcelona and we scraped through, or Real Madrid draw or won. And at the end of the day, that's what happened. I think that Barcelona needed that second goal. We do not know how to close games off. I think that's still one part of this team that needs to evolve, and kind of they need to hone this out a little bit more. And yeah, I think that honestly, like I'm really bummed because I think that Gavi was having such a great job, like suppressing Bellingham. Yeah. And to be honest, at the end of the day, though, literally the 2 moments where he didn't go to him, that's when he scored. Like I want to go through the game minute by minute and see. And I bet you that those 2 seconds where he wasn't marking Bellingham up tight, that's when he scored. And at the end of the day, it seems that everything he touches it's magic, really, to be honest. Like he seems touched by God. I have no idea how to explain it. I really think that Bellingham right now, I don't know. He seems like Maradona, some sort of has like possessed him or some shit. But but he's playing so. He's scoring everything. Everything he touches turns to a goal, and it's like, I don't know. It's annoying, but the best way to explain this is that like my friends in the friend group that are all of them Madrid fans, like they normally talk shit throughout like the entire game, right? And the only moment they talk shit was literally when the final whistle blew. They just tagged us. Like they didn't even say anything. They just tagged me and my other friend that are Barca fans. They just tagged us. Like before you would have said something, but this time around, just tag us and at the end of the game. So that's the best way to explain what this Clásico was.
Yeah, I didn't hear from any Madrid fans for 92 minutes, and then it came flooding in. I'm with you. I think you're dead on about Gavi marking Bellingham. I don't think Bellingham did anything impressive throughout the match. The first goal, Gavi had a headed clearance where he had to dive for it, so he was out of position, and then somebody should have known to step up. Christensen was late to recover. I think he was closest to it, so somebody should have stepped up. I also think Ter Stegen should have done better with that one. It looked like he went for a swipe away, tried to time it, kind of palm it away. I think he's got to do better than that,
For which one? The first or second?
First one.
Yeah,
First
for
one. He's got to do better than that.
Yeah.
Second one, that is one, you could say, oh, Modric, lucky touch, this and that. Whatever the case is, it is 100% Romeu's fault for not following Bellingham. He picks up Bellingham at the top of the box and just watches him go through. No contention whatsoever. So credit to Bellingham. Here's why he's having such a great year. Because he's doing the simple things very well, consistently. He is playing the most technically sound football in Europe right now. And he's tremendously talented. So when you talk about it being, luck or this or that, it's not an accident to be in the right place at the right time. That is why he's being successful, right? That to me is not going to stop, right? So everything that you all said, Real Madrid being Real Madrid, we didn't finish them off. I think second half Barcelona just kind of fell off. We lost steam, and that's really where we miss Pedri, Frankie de Jong, a healthy Rafinha, a healthy Lewandowski. Lewandowski was dog shit. Oh my gosh. Every touch of his was 2-3 yards away from where he wanted it to be. So Cancelo had an amazing game. Wish he would have finished that one where he ran past 2-3 players. Wish he would have finished that. Overall, I'm not really disappointed as much as I thought I would be, I'll say. Because looking back, same thing happened last year. Lost in October, and we ended up being champions. So, who knew? You take out our two best midfielders, and we suffer for it.
For me, this result is just like very sour. Like it's very, very sour because it's like the only way Real Madrid could have sort of made some sort of campaign from this was literally Bellingham scoring 2 goals, and that's what he did. So. But I agree with John saying that it's not like a massive issue that Barcelona lost at this moment. It's not a crisis or whatever.
We're 4 points down.
Exactly. 4 points down, and still you have all of the other like main starter players injured. So there's quite a lot that can improve, like a lot of things that can go much better. And at the end of the day, I feel that one part of this team that needs to improve on is just the finishing. Like at the moment, we don't have that clinical instinct to just put the ball into the back of the net. I don't look at this team and see, what's the word? Consistency. Like, I don't feel this team is going to be consistency. I don't know, every week that we go, I'm not sure if we're going to see like a massive Barcelona, like a good improvement. I just don't know. We are not consistent right now.
Yeah. John, you made a good point on Romeu, I think, because I think we've got a bit of a pivot problem, actually.
Dude, he's dog shit. He's so bad.
Such an important top teams in Europe to protect the back line. And I'm sorry, but we kind of knew it, bless him. But I think he's got boots that can help us. But in big games, he actually didn't track his runner against Shakhtar as well, by the way, midweek. And he didn't track Bellingham. He's just, for 3 million from Girona, it's just screaming out as to what it actually is. And you can see why Xavi was adamant on renewing Busquets. And then adamant on Mendy, the signing of the summer. That's where he wanted the whole budget. Not that we had any, because we only spent 3 million, but you can see it. It's obvious. Busquets out, Romeu in. It's obvious, and it's becoming more apparent.
I think two things about Romeu. I think I am easy on how hard I go in criticizing him because it's sort of a Braithwaite situation where what did you expect? You can only ask so much of the player, right? Like nobody was like, good, we've got the Busquets replacement here, right? Everybody knew that was a desperate plea. The second thing is that if Romeu is playing in the pivot with Frankie and any of our other midfielders, literally anybody else, then Romeu only has to stop the counterattacks. That's all he has to do. And he's amazing at that. But when he has no Frankie there, he's asked to do a little bit too much. And that's when you really start to see the holes. So I feel for the guy. He's just
Yeah.
being asked to do too much right now.
This is gonna be like similar to the engine room. Like, how does Buga bring Peru into the mix? But I talked to this. You know who's Renato Tapia from Salta Vigo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy here that made an interview with him, and he said like, I'm not the most technical player. Like literally, all the thing Caudet, the manager at the time, asked me to do is simply just win the ball back and then pass the ball to the more talented players.
Mhm.
And I think, and he just said that, and I'm frank, you know, like he was sincere and he was honest, and I think that's sort of what Romeo should do. like if that's his precise role in the team, I think there's no problem with it. But like John said, he needs to have some sort of other midfielder like mobility. If he had Gavi and Frankie, like fine, it works.
Yeah.
Pedri and Frank, it works. I think that right now, if we stick him in with the players that we have with such a depleted midfield, it won't really work because Gundogan isn't also that box to box cover all the spaces sort of midfielder. I feel that's where he struggles. But not only I feel that he's a step down, but right now he's actually playing bad. Like I think the first few games when he came in, he was okay, but right now he's actually like underperforming. So I feel that it's going to be very hard because of this situation of how he has presented himself to the squad, to the fans, where I wouldn't put him near any of the big games. Like when the season was about to start, remember how people were saying Romeo for the big games because he's going to give solidity to the midfield. No, for the big games, it's for me Frankie, Gavi, and then Pedri, Gundogan, or whatever. Like that for me is a big game. I would actually still stick with the four midfielders that we had, the false left winger. I will put Gavi there, Pedri when he's fit, Gundogan, Frankie. That's it for me.
Who are you playing in the attack?
That's Rafa and Lewandowski.
Yeah, Rafinha and Lewandowski maybe, or you know what you know what
we're back.
You know
we are back.
You know that, but like even the job of like Gavi, João Felix can do that. So depending on how the team is built up, I think you can do what mix.
Did either of you? I'll bring this back to Barcelona, I swear. But did either of you watch the Manchester derby?
Yeah,
a bit.
You see the penalty call for City's first goal?
Yeah.
Did you at all have a reaction tying that back to Araujo not getting the penalty call? I don't understand the difference. That was the one time where I watched it happen in the Manchester derby. I was like, they're going to call that a penalty. They're definitely going to call that a penalty when literally yesterday a worse occurrence of being held down in the box for Araujo. I don't have an explanation. I don't know. Somebody explain that one to me.
There's no consistency with VAR. I think actually it's the worst it's ever been right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew full well they were never going to give that. By the way, there was no way in hell they were giving that. And it's just ridiculous because there's no consistency. There's no criteria. The whole thing's a mess. I have no idea why we also voted against that automated offside thing. It's the best new technology in football. I think we got in the Champions League and it's so smooth and quick. It's brilliant, really brilliant. It's like the way they do it. It's so clever. Yeah. And instead we got these thick lines from horrific angles, pixelated. I can't stand it. So yeah, VAR's a proper shambles. Thankfully, I don't think we were robbed yesterday, which I thought could happen with Hidman Thanol, but that was a penalty.
Yeah. I think actually he managed the game quite.
He did.
He managed it well because he was very lenient. He kept the game flowing. He didn't have too many pauses or stops, and he didn't buy anything from Vinicius or whatnot. And yeah, like I think honestly he wasn't too much. That's what a referee should be, like not too much of an intruder in the team. And VAR, I think the problem, once again, I always go back to the World Cup. I think the World Cup VAR was great, both in Russia and in Qatar. I think it really worked. The problem is that when you have all these different leagues using different standards and like guidelines, that's a problem. Like you need to be able to have consistency because that's where the problem comes in. You know, like in Spain, we have this thing going on, and then in the Premier League, you have this thing going on. And even between the matches, it's very different because of the referee and whatnot. So it has to be very strict, has to be very coherent between everything, and that for me is what would fix VAR. But we're just ages from that.
Yeah.
What about Vinicius?
I thought Araujo did quite well against him.
Yeah,
I thought another case of doing good. Yeah.
I more mean his clownery and his antics again.
Oh, he just I think that's all it is. It's just antics. I think that's but it's part of him getting in the mind space of playing creatively, of feeling free, of this and that. But it's just antics. It's
Yeah,
I,
he was very taken out of the game. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't. He was
I,
minute by
he was
minute 15. He was already out of the game. Like mentally, he was not there. So it wasn't really too much of an issue to have an issue there.
Well,
Of
how
course,
many?
the speed.
Not to cut you off, Puka,
Yeah,
but how many times has he played against Araujo now?
incredible.
He knows what's going to happen. Nothing's changed.
yeah.
I gotta think that's a sleepless night for Vinny Jr. at this point.
No,
Incredible, yeah.
I think from all of the Clásicos, I have one where Vinicius Junior like won, and I remember when I saw like him going past Araujo, I was like, "Yeah, you won this one, like fair play, you know." But it's been quite a lot of Clásicos now, and it's like Araujo was keeping him tight. I was also very interested to see how Xavi was going to manage the right back situation. Like, of course, Joao Cancelo playing as a false sort of not completely right winger.
Yeah.
And he kind of did what I said. Remember, I said my formation would be like 5 at the back, not 5 at the back, but 3 center backs, 2 carrileros, and it sort of worked.
They did go 3 center back. Yeah. He was kind of shifting, defensively and offensively a little bit of a difference there. I think in the attack, definitely more of a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 sort of look. So, I'm gonna throw something at you guys that's a bit of a hard pivot, but something that I was thinking about with the emergence of Fermin Lopez, and this is kind of a good problem to have, but I'm thinking back to a time when we had Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Yaya Toure, Iago, and a couple of those players had to leave because they didn't have room in the squad anymore. I'm starting to feel like we're like one more midfielder away from that being the same. If you look at particularly Frankie, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin Lopez, I'm not saying Casado is there yet, but he's rumored to be maybe the next pivot. If he comes up, boom, that's 5 midfielders. If they're all going to be world class, somebody's going to want to leave. So my question is, who is the Thiago out of this group of midfielders coming up? That's not really going to be the starter, and they end up going on to great things somewhere else. Who's that going to be?
God, it's impossible to answer who will go. But I think you are right, because I keep thinking about it when I'm making the lineups. And say we do go with a midfield 3. You are dropping some big players there, some massive players. If you think about going maybe Gundogan, De Jong, Gavi, so Pedri gets benched, Fermin gets benched in this form. I think Romeo now does get benched, but earlier on in the season he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And so you even go with 4, it becomes odd, because then I think you're benching Joao Felix, who's maybe made a lot of Barcelona's best play in the last 2 months. So we have a few issues. And I think even in defence, if you want more solidarity, maybe you go with Koundé, Araujo, Christensen. Well, what about Cancelo then? Who's also created a lot for Barca. So there's a few problems coming up, and I think the only reason we've actually been able to escape them is because of the injuries. The decisions have been made for us, right? Xavi hasn't had to do much. Now who on earth do I leave out here? It's almost a given. Which isn't a good thing, because I think not having Pedri every week is really bad, actually.
No, but it
does
saved him the headache, though, for sure.
It has. I mean, it's allowed Gavi, who I think is the pride of Barcelona and the pride of Spain, actually, right now. I think he is sensational, brilliant. I've run out of words to describe him because he is superb. And Fermin as well as a proper player with a bit of a different little skill set as well for a La Masia midfielder. More advanced, lovely turn on the ball, and a great ball striker, which Gavi and Pedri aren't, I don't think.
Yeah.
So that's a midfielder for Barca to have really good ball striker from the edge of the box. When Fermin gets the ball on the edge, I think goal.
Yep.
And that is for a Spanish midfielder. We don't have any of those. I've got news. We've got 0. So.
Yeah. Like when Fermin, there was a moment, a chance where he kind of turned and was about to shoot with his left, like in El Clásico, like in LA, and I was like, "There's a goal," and it's like already, like it's been what four times maybe he's done that in all these games, and it's like already it's like the move, the Fermin move, it's like the Dembele 2 cut or the Messi like swipe with the left, it's that thing that you recognize. And for me, of course, right now, I feel the one who would have to pay would be sort of Fermin if we just have the ones that we kept at the moment. But ideally, like if you have De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin, those 4 midfielders are like set. I don't feel that like for instance, you have Gundogan extra. I think those 5 players, like, I think it's fine. Like, moving forward, it's fine. Like, because also let's remember, we're talking about players where 20 Fermin, 19 Gavi, and 20 Pedri. So it's like they have time, whatever. Like, like, they're not. I don't think they're gonna be at right moment at this time. They're gonna be like, I want to play every single game. I want to be the guy. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. If I'm allowed, though, to bring a topic into question, did you read the comments from, or heard the comments from Gundogan?
Yes, I pulled that up because I wanted to talk about that too.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm happy to see it. I mean, part of me is like, don't spill the tea about the dressing room, but he's calling out the players. He's saying we gotta have more passion. We gotta have a little bit more anger in us. He tweeted out, "What an unnecessary result yesterday. So frustrating. We need to take a great step now and learn from that." And that is the message. It's not good enough to be like, well, boys, if you're on the team, because I know we all just said, well, injuries, this and that, but if you're on that team, you played well enough for 60, 65 minutes to win that match. You just got to see it out.
Yeah. I have some thoughts on it. I actually think if this happened 2-3 years ago, we would have all been jumping up saying, fucking tell them, get in there, because we were all saying that, weren't we? I think with the videos of the Anfield dressing room going around and whatnot, we all thought, get into these pricks. That's exactly what they need. Now I feel slightly differently about it. I'm not inside the dressing room, so I can't actually comment on that. I like what he's saying. I think he's come with a winning mentality. I think it's very German from him as well, by the way, to say that. So I think fair enough. And obviously he's a winner as well. Gundogan, he's won a lot in his career. Pops up in a big moment again.
League winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just come from Pep's dressing room, and he's just won the treble with City. They haven't lost many
he was
games.
The
when
captain of the UCL as well.
Yeah. So I can see what he's doing, but I actually don't think, maybe for the first time in a long time, that we have a mentality problem. We might in terms of Champions League games, but I don't think we do in terms of desire and wanting to win. I don't think that's an issue at all with Xavi's team. I think, in fact, if anything, and I think I saw a Real Madrid fan tweet this, they said that, why do Barcelona want it in the Clásico so much more than us? And I think he's right, actually, because I think Barcelona actually, we didn't lose yesterday because of not trying and not having the mentality, which we definitely did a few years back, by the way, with Setien's team and stuff, and Valverde's team, where the mentality was broken. We were dead, and that would have been a good time to make the comments. Maybe it still is a good time to make the comments. From what I can read from that, probably the dressing room was Xavi came in and said, don't be too harsh, guys. We played well, we couldn't do it. Unlucky, the La Liga's long. Gavi and I think Araujo said similar things, and Gundogan probably thought, hang on a minute, actually, no, I'm a bit pissed off, actually. I think that was a massive game we should have won. I'm not happy with that. And he's gone out and said that. So I think it's not that it's not that we've got a bad mentality. I think it's just the fact that we showed that in a different way. That's my reading of that. But I think that fair enough for him to say it. But I actually don't think right now we do have a mentality problem in terms of the team isn't like switched on and wanting to win. I think that they're actually all ready to fight. And I think we see that actually most games under Xavi. I don't see a Barca problem anymore, which is credit to Xavi and everyone. I think this team's revolutionised in 2-3 years, by the way. Revolutionised. I think we all forget it, the mess we were in.
Do you think he might be speaking about maybe just specific players then, not necessarily holistically? Because I think you're right. When I think about Gavi and Araujo and João Felix and Rafinha, even, like, the mentality is I would say well above where it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is talking about someone like a Romeu or maybe Christensen for not stepping up on that first goal. Like maybe that's the moments he's talking about.
Yeah, could be some different characters in the change room. I think people question ter Stegen as a captain. I don't know if I would actually, but I think ter Stegen was probably one of the ones around the sort of Anfield era who didn't like the whole pissing about the Messi and Suarez. They were all casual. I think ter Stegen was one who said this isn't good enough actually.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be ter Stegen, although I've seen fans hammering him. I think that's just a reaction to them being disappointed, like you, John, said, to the save. You're right. It could be that Romeu's and Christensen don't show much in the changing room. That is a genuine possibility.
I don't know. I don't agree with him targeting certain players. I think it's more of like a response, just out of like made what with Pablo said. I think it has to go with the message that maybe was sent, and it's because maybe he has had a lack of context, a little bit of like where this club was a few years ago. Like if we just went all guns blazing with these comments, and every single fan kind of shared the same opinion at the moment, and it just all kind of blew out of proportion, we would just start another crisis like we always had, right? It's been what, a year, 2 years now where we are fine, but before it was constant fires, constant crises. And I feel that this is a sort of I mean, I think his comments are okay, but there's one thing where I think it can be misinterpreted, and it can be a little bit of like, I don't know. I don't feel he's coming this way, but he did said, "I didn't come here to lose. I came here to win. I didn't came to lose this type of games."
Yeah.
And I feel that always speaking in the first person sounds so like superior or something like that. But I know
Instead of
Gundogan.
saying
Or
we,
yeah, I don't know if Gundogan is a sort of guy. I don't know, but I feel that there has to be something in the squad at the moment, and I do agree. I feel that there's right now maybe something in the squad. I cannot pinpoint what is, but I feel it's been kind of brewing in the shadows. Like something in this squad for me is not up par. Like I don't feel we are at our maximum level right now. I feel something's still lacking when it comes to the sort of games. Like there's been plenty of games like the I always forget the games that we play. The ones we draw, the one against Celta de Vigo at home. Those games sometimes we're just not turned on, and I feel that has to do something with the way the squad communicates itself. And actually, I would always say this for me is the one thing that I perhaps kind of not really like. The only thing I can say is a disadvantage for Xavi, and is that even though I like his message, I like the way he communicates himself. In the documentary, which was barely a documentary, it was more like an advert. But
yeah, dude,
I feel
it's
that's
Barcelona propaganda. Let's
Yeah.
call it what it is. You're not getting any
feel-
real dirt in that documentary.
I feel like Xavi sometimes is way too like too a little bit of, no, I don't want to say two-faced, but it seems like he has some sort of like what I say in the media, what I say in the club. But I feel that sometimes I compare that to like someone like for instance like an Ange Postecoglou, and I feel that you just have to be a little more down to earth. And I feel that that's, I don't know, something, I don't know.
I don't
I'll
think
stop
that
talking.
I agree with you, but I don't think that's Xavi's doing. I think that is the Barcelona media machine.
Yeah, the club. Yeah,
being
the club.
like, Xavi, this is how you're going to present things commercially, and then you can do whatever you want when we kick out the cameras after the first 5 minutes of being in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean on the Gundogan comment when he said, I didn't come here to lose.
Yeah.
With all due respect, I don't know how good he's actually been.
Ooh.
Yeah, he hasn't good these last two games, but the entirety of the season, like he's been invisible.
He's sort of speaking there as if he's bagged 15 goals in the first 10 games, and we just keep conceding. And he's like, "What? I didn't come here for this."
Pablo's triggered. He's heated. Get him, Pablo.
He's just been like a 6 out of 10 midfielder most games, I think.
But I do want to defend Gundogan. The one thing is that he did turn up. Like the biggest game we had so far, he did turn up.
Loves it.
Yeah, he did do it. So
I like Gundogan, yeah, and I rate the message. To be fair, it's nice our players' mentality and winners. I always say that more than some of the clowns you see in the Premier League, but
yeah,
it was a bit odd, some of the wording of it.
Well,
but he knows the dressing room, and we don't know, so fair enough for him to say.
Yeah.
It will give us a bit of a firework, I suppose, won't it? So there you go.
Yeah. Well, Barcelona have Sociedad up next, and they do need to get some results because Sociedad's sitting in 5th right now, and with Atletico's last victory, they have leapfrogged Barcelona. They're in 3rd. As we stand right now, it's Real Madrid, Girona, Atletico, then Barcelona, then Real Sociedad. So the headlines are going to be pointing to Barcelona sitting in 4th, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be calling for catastrophe, but we are 4 points back from the top of the table. It's October.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned about it.
What? Oh yeah, we're 4th now.
Yeah, we're 4th right now.
I just checked the table.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like we said, to kind of circle it back, the loss stings. It particularly stings because it was Jude Bellingham. But overall, when we zoom out, We've got a lot of talented players that are coming back from injury. We are set up for a good run in Champions League. I think it's still going to be a good year for Barcelona, and we have a lot to be proud of in that match, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
I do want to say something. We need to start improving. Like, we need to start winning this game. It's been how many years since Barcelona, when it comes a crucial game, like a must-win game, we haven't. Like last year, we didn't win. We won the Supercopa, we won La Liga, but even winning this La Liga, I think the only game where I was like, we actually put our feet down and won one of those games was the Real Madrid victory at home in a Clásico. But like even the one against Manchester United, like it's been a while since one of those big games that we've been able to win. I think that these players still need to learn a little bit more of that idea. Like, because comes the Champions League, we get round of 16, we get like I don't know who can go through. Galatasaray go through. We barely beat them. Okay, 1-0. Then in quarterfinals, I feel like any team who would be in the quarterfinals has a bigger probability to win the game. I still feel that way because we just simply don't have that, that cutting edge.
Yeah.
Well, that is worrying.
Do you agree with that? Like, I still see this team a little bit like raw.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's because we haven't done it yet. We need to prove ourselves in one of those big Champions League ties when it's tough against us. If we win that, then we'll start to believe again. But yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, if you look at, I'm scrolling through yours. I'm going to name some clubs that I think would smoke us right now. Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Real Madrid in Europe would beat us right now. I would not want to play Inter Milan right now. PSG,
City.
Dortmund, Newcastle, Milan, all of Group F. I wouldn't want to play. Man City. Right there. So, like, there's how many teams did I just name? Like 8 that I wouldn't necessarily want to face. So I'm with Booga right now. I think depending on who we draw, we can get through the first knockout stage. But as things stand, we would need to see some pretty serious improvements over the next few months for me to feel confident that we'll get any further than that.
That's why I think this game was very important. Just get the win against Real Madrid. Close the chapter, feel better about yourself, but it's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's end on a positive note. What's something? Try and think of something for folks to look forward to. What's something that we can get excited about?
Well, Messi's going to win the Ballon d'Or today.
Okay. I'm into that.
I like that. I dig that.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Nothing else. Not one thing to think of because we are done, Nudge.
We're done. Xavi out. Clearly.
Oh, there's so much. There's so much to look forward to with this team. Actually, to be fair, I'm a massive fan of it. Maybe more than I should be, but it's probably because I just remember it's like 18 months ago. And actually, when I look at some other teams, Man U, Chelsea at the moment, and you see the state they're into, the turnover Barcelona had from disaster to brilliance. And I know it's because we have elections, obviously, here, which we're fortunate enough to have.
Yeah.
But with all conditions, to this summer again, we could only spend 3.4 million. By the way, out of all 32 teams in the Champions League, who spent the least money? FC Barcelona. We've won it 5 times. And it's incredible. So we're not in a good financial situation, but they've turned it around. The squad's good. We've got a president, coach, and players all in the same direction. That's something that's to be happy about. And that's why, we won La Liga last season, the Supercopa. That's why I think we'll win more trophies this season. We are full of brilliant young players like Gavi, Fermin, Pedri, invaluable players for a team. And that's just to list 3 of them, Araujo, De Jong. Even if they're more experienced one, I think the team's been built brilliantly. There's lots to look forward to. I think we're going to have some good games this season. But yeah, it is a shame yesterday. And we've still got to prove ourselves in big games and in Europe. That is true. But I think Barcelona as a club are actually in quite a good place right now, especially considering where we were about 2 years ago, honestly.
Yeah. I'm very excited for where we're headed, the trajectory. One thing that makes me smile about El Clásico is Gavi and Fermin Lopez, I think collectively smoked Toni Kroos. I think Toni Kroos was thinking about retiring the entire match that he was on that pitch, and rightfully so. I think the Instagram wars between he and Gavi are done. I think Gavi just humped him the entire time. and was marking Jude Bellingham. Like Cruz wasn't even his main objective. And he's like, I'll just do a little side hustle here, smoke Tony Cruz while I'm around, and then go about my business with Jude Bellingham. So I was happy to see that. And that's something that puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Buka, any final words?
Not really. Not really. I was just thinking about like how maybe something is with me that I can only take up young players seriously once they get like a first shirt number, like a first team shirt number.
Yeah, no, that's fair. First team number, yeah.
Because I was looking like for me 32. You need to be at least like a 16.
Here's the thing: everybody starts somewhere. Lionel Messi, 30. You know what I mean?
I can't take you seriously if you don't have a number below 25. Sorry.
Yeah, much that. Fermin's had like a 10 goals, 10 assists season. Why are you not convinced on him? Wow, he wears the shirt number 30.
He does. I mean, but he does. Does he wear number 10? No, he wears number 32.
We'll see. Ansu might have to fight him for it next year.
Yeah, honestly, like that's one thing that we should talk next episode about Ansu Fati. I think that's something we could start. Maybe not right now, but I want to hear your opinion. So keep it for the next episode about Ansu and how he's doing at Brighton.
I'm into that. All right. Have we figured out what we're calling our listeners yet? Because since we're not going with roomies anymore, have we figured this one out?
I don't know.
I don't think
MES
so.
Roomies.
Yeah. So
Roomies.
let us know in the comments what is the community going to be called? What are our listeners going to go by? Like, subscribe, share, give us the 5-star rating, tell your friends, all the good things. And we will be back next week with more Barcelona news, covering all things FC Barcelona. We'll catch y'all next time.
Bye. Hey, Jude.
Peace.